So let's say that you have an example. You know, if you're an individual who knows that I'm not going to college, that I just want to jump right into entrepreneurship. Talk to me a little bit about what advice you have for that individual. This individual would be somewhere between 17, 18, 19 years old and decides that I'm not going to college, I'm going to be an entrepreneur.
I say go for it. There's like no reason not to. But here, this is the advice that I have.
Do they need to go to college?
They do not need to go to college to start a business. Absolutely not. But here's the practical advice, right? And I have given this advice to people. Some people have taken it, some people have not. Your parents are, if your parents are of the mindset that college is the thing to do after high school, then you're counting on them to provide your room, board, and everything else, then you've got to do something before you're supposed to be going to college to show them that you've created another track for yourself, that you can start bringing in an income. So, start doing something senior year, right? Like start working on this business process, the plan, whatever it is, the summer before senior year. Start doing it, start working it out, start getting some customers, start putting feelers out, start making contacts with people, work on it over fall break, Christmas break, winter break, whatever, all of the holidays, your grading period holidays, spring break. Start putting in the time so that they know you're serious and that you're working towards something. And then when you graduate, you'll already have something to show them versus just talking about it, because you just had all this time that you could have been doing something. And the summer is like a perfect time for high school students to try something out.
So as a parent, I would come back to you and say, my child is 17, 18, they don't know what they want to do because they have always been living with me underneath my roof. Mm-hmm. I would respond, well, maybe college is the place where they need to go to find themselves, and they need to go to school because they need to be able to find themselves in their niche in life.
So I would say, I don't know how college is going to help them find themselves. Mm-hmm. It may help them socially, like get some other experiences, some good, some bad. But college is not going to help them find their niche. Well, most colleges. So why would you, if it's just a matter of like, you're over them and you don't want them in you need a break for 4 years while they're in your house, then be honest and say that, right? Like kids can see through your bullshit. And so don't make it about them if it's really about you. Cause I think that's part of the problem is if your kid is telling you like, I don't want to go to school, especially if their grades were good enough for them to get into school, maybe even get money, and they're telling you like this isn't what I want to do, and you're still forcing them to do it, that's not about them, that's about you.
So as a parent, what advice, so if I have talking to my son or daughter and they're saying to me, I don't want to go to school, but they have all the criteria that makes for school, what advice as a parent could I give them the next steps?
About
them. So if they came to me and say, Dad, I don't want to go to school, it's just not for me. I've got accepted to these colleges. I got this amount of funding, but I know in my heart school's not for me. As a parent, what would be the next steps advice I should give to them?
I would say accept to one school, defer for a year, right? This is like a medium. What's it called?
Compromise.
A compromise. This is a compromise, right? Accept and defer. Most schools will let you defer up to at least a year. And it's similar to like what I did when I started Forward Think. Jason, here's my bonus. Let me see what I could do for a year. Okay, Mom and Dad, here, I got in. I'm deferring for a year. Let me see what I could do on my own because I really don't think school is for me. The problem is that most kids are not. They're just like, oh, we don't know what the fuck we want to do, so we're just not going to do anything, right? And it becomes that like depressing kind of, I gave up on life at 18. Like you're that's not showing your parents that you have the tenacity to actually go start a business or generate income for yourself. So again, if you start, like if you're a high school senior right now, it's the end of April and you don't want to go to college, but you can produce some income, then you better start doing that shit today because you've got 3 or 4 months now left of the summer, right? May, June, July, you would start school at the end of August. So you have 3 good months that if you worked your ass off, you could start bringing in money and show your parents, I can do this. Most parents are not going to turn you down at that point. And if they did, who cares? Because you're generating income, you could go move out and support yourself, right? So all the cards are not in your parents' basket, right? And then they're viewing you differently because most of them just don't even know that the stuff is available that you could do to generate income, using social media or having some kind of e-commerce site or whatever it is, mowing lawns, like whatever it is. There are just people that are not gonna, like, school is not their thing, and that's okay.